So I'm thinking about that. I will start because we're starting to giving out small messages here also, not just the lectures in Swedish, but also getting out many small kind of videos here. And I would like to start because the other day I'm giving out and telling about UFOs in my meetings with these galactics. I will tell about this story. Last Friday was good weather here in Sweden. Then we filming outside. Our mission was to film on the same place, but today little bit cloudy, rainy, windy. So we are filming inside today. But I will tell you about this story. This happened in Sweden in 1988. In 1998. First I met a woman and she gave me some of this stone elixir, you call it, like a homeopathic elixir made of meteorite. And this woman tell me, when she gave me this, she tell me, now you will start to see UFOs. Okay, so I said, I didn't believe it like this. I was just laughing at it, thought it was funny. So I have no expectation, but I take this anyway. And I've taken this for maybe 2 weeks. You take it like 7 drops 3 times a day for 2 weeks. And one evening I meet a friend. He's more like a hiking guy, like this. So he tell me, can we go out? It was in the summer. And tell me, can we go out in the forest outside just Gothenburg? And we can sleep there just with our sleeping bags. I thought it was a nice idea. So we go out there and have a lot of picnic, tea and sandwiches and fruits, and making ourselves comfortable on a little hill, you could say. And from this hill you see water, like a little lake, very close. So we are sitting and talking there in the evening. And enjoying our time, and everything feels very special and magic. And suddenly, this was maybe 1 o'clock in the night, 2 o'clock in the night. Suddenly, from nowhere, just coming out of thin air, coming a big light. And it's a kind of light ship, like you see in the middle, kind of like two. Look around, like this classical UFO, but it was shining, very big light around it. So you see this in the middle, you see the shape, but the light very big. So this ship not too big, I could say, but maybe 25 meters or something like this. And it was quite close, maybe like 40-50 meters, something like that. And it was hanging just in the air. And this big light coming out of it. So my friend, he's more scientific guy, he was really surprised, and I also, we was just, wow, what is this? And he said, tell me, this is a UFO. Yeah, it's a UFO, I said. And maybe it was just dropping our mouth like this. And this hanging, and we sitting there, and I just have to look away, because I think maybe I do like this on my skin, and she, looking again, and it was still there. And he was also looking away, and he's still there, we're looking back, we try to feel, are we awake, or what is going on here? And also, I feel like someone is sitting inside this ship, some being, a few beings actually. I feel them, I feel that they know us, and I feel also very strongly that they are appearing not by accident. I feel this is a kind of pre-planned experience. And this has been going on maybe for 3-4 minutes. And then my friend suddenly say like this can't be possible. Then this ship started moving. And it moving, out to the horizon. So over what is called Mölndal, this is south of Gothenburg, but we see it long time, and then it's gone. Then we looking at each other and thinking of it, talking and thinking, well, this is really strange. And he also told me that he felt a very strong telepathic connection to the beings. So we're talking and we are completely blown out, you could say, kind of in a shock. So maybe 1 hour or something after, we lay down in a sleeping bag and I laying on my side. And it's very difficult to fall asleep, obviously. So I just laying and try to meditate, just follow my breath, praying, try to calm myself down. And then after maybe half an hour I laying there, then I feel on my back, I feel there's someone there. I feel like beings, 3-4 beings. Maybe 10 meters behind me. So I was laying there in my sleeping bag and I could hear them and also feel that they're talking in telepathy to each other. So I started to feel a little bit, not scared maybe, because I have no bad vibes like this, but still a little bit small I feel. Or very small I could say. So I was laying there and kind of going into a mode of prayer. And one of these beings started to go towards me. I could feel it, I could hear it coming up. And I feel this being just behind me. And then I started to feel, wow, my heart was standing on end. And I was a bit fearful. What is happening? And then I feel this being, I felt it in my aura first, going in with his hand. Then his hand coming in my back here on my neck, on this point, what is called medulla oblongata. And when he touched this point, it just it was just a big light flash. Everything was just light. I suppose I get a complete Kundalini experience, because the light was very, very bright. And after this, I just disappeared. I don't remember anything. So in the morning I wake up, and I look at my friend, and we just start laughing. So we couldn't look at each other, just laughing and laughing. So we go to a place, to a coffee shop in the morning, thinking about we have some breakfast together, but we just laughing, we couldn't talk. I was just completely blown out. And this is going on for days. I was just blown out, I would say, laughing. And after this experience, I felt that I was always kind of connected. It's like something have happened in this point that you're coming in some kind of telepathic mood, you could say. And after this, I talk a lot of information. I have many lucid dreams. In these lucid dreams, I'm waking up in my dream body and I'm coming on board many ships. Also these smaller ships or bigger mother ships, and speaking to many beings. But this was mostly, this ship we saw here was a kind of Pleiadian ship. Because I feel I was very connected to these Pleiadian people after this. And all this information I started to download, I read later in this book I told you about Barbara Marcinek, the Bringers of the Dawn. It was very similar information about groups coming together, about the big mandala of these 144,000 light workers. Many things like this. And a little bit similar, which Master Hilarion told me in the 10 years earlier, also about this time of Armageddon, about these 144,000 light workers, and the time of the big changes, many things like this. Some very detailed information also. And this time I get, very detailed information about certain happenings in the world. They tell me about many earthquakes coming on different locations. Always half year before the earthquakes they tell me. So then I started praying about these places. And then I see many other people coming in the spirit and pray about this place. So it seems like many people get this information about the earthquakes actually because then they have the ability to intervene on this earthquake and make them calm them down, because they needed kind of people here on earth who use their free will so they could intervene much more strong. Because I believe myself that intervention is will be needed here on earth. So much of the information we're coming out with is that people have to use their free will on many different ways. But the one way is also to pray and ask for intervention, because the earth is very out there somewhere, very far away from natural law, very far away from love. It's completely confused, you could say. And we are very brainwashed in education and many, many things. So I think big intervention is needed, because we are destroying every element, you could say. The earth is dirty, the water is dirty, the air is dirty. Everything is very destroyed. So we need an intervention, I feel. So this is one part of it, divine intervention. And one is that we as human beings have to act upon our own guidance, that everyone have in their spirit, they have kind of codes, what they are supposed to do here on earth, which was there before we get born. This is, I think, I'm working, with the Vedic astrology, and you see this, what is called Dharma, what people have to do here on earth. We have to act upon the Dharma so we get the light with us, and so we can make a change, even if it's in a little way. This is very, very important in this time. It's not a time of sitting and be spiritual for yourself. I think it's a time of action. Like people have to act upon the Dharma and doing this seva, this service here on earth for the spirit. I think this is really, really important. So I feel many of these UFOs, different civilizations, Sirius, Pleiades, Arcturians, Andromedans, I have contact with all these different. And many of them are very active here. They really want to help us. And I feel that this is our brothers and sisters, and it's a part of this new age that the heavens and the earth is connecting again. It's just like every person in this age, like their earthly being and the heavenly being in us is connecting again. So heaven is on the way down to earth again. So this is very symbolic, I think, also, that we get galactic human beings. We are expanding out in the universe. And as I feel this reunion is coming closer and closer. And it will be very, very emotional, this reunion, because these beings from different planets, they are very close to us in our genetic makeup. They are not foreign in this way, They are our brothers and sisters. And we will remember them really close. It's a very intimate connection. And it's important because these beings, many times they are kind of walked before us. They are like elder brothers and sisters, a little bit more knowledgeable. But we will catch up slowly, I feel. So this is what I feel about them. And this reunion is very, very close. We come more and more and more. It have already started, but it will come in a very conscious way for everyone, very soon. Whatever that means very soon. I have my own information, but we will see it, because it depends very much what we do. But the more people using their free will and want this to happen, the faster it will get. So, okay, thank you very much.